So I think like just surround yourself with people that are great for you and encouraging to you and kind of just go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Carganilla Online Variety Entertainment Podcast. Here's your host, Paul Carganilla.
Hello and welcome to COVE. This is the online variety show in which we aim to both entertain and inspire our podcast listeners and YouTube viewers through a variety of art forms, including music, poetry, storytelling, special guest interviews, travel blogs. Really, there's every week. This show is just a grab bag of entertainment. You never know what you're going to get when you see a new episode pop into your feed. That's what I love about this show as the creator and the host, and I hope that's what you're loving about it too. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube at covetube.com, and make sure you're not missing a single episode of this jambalaya of fun that we drop into your ear holes as you listen throughout your day. Our guest on today's episode is a young rising star with a super bright future, and I can't wait to get to know her a bit, introduce her to you, our COVE community. But first, let's say welcome and hello. Let's lead the gift horse to the water and look him in the mouth behind the cart. Ladies and gentlemen, here's producer Craig Jackman. We didn't actually have to see your mouth. Producer Craig!
Welcome.
Oh, well, you opened it up. I had to, well, wait a minute. I opened it up, but anyways, great to see you. Great to be here, and great to see everybody watching us on YouTube and to be here with all of you.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, buddy. And we've been rolling now for a while. This podcast, it feels like just yesterday it was brand new, but here we are pretty deep into kind of toward the end of season 1 already, with all of the amazing guests we've met, all the stories we've heard, and everything in between, all the music we've shared, the poetry along the way. This has been such a fun journey, and I want to thank everybody out there in our Patreon community for your support and helping the show continue to grow. And thank you, producer Craig, for being here and being such a wonderful foundation of support for everything, all the crazy stuff I try to do. You're always there to scoop me up off the ground when I fall flat on my face.
Oh, come on. It's like it's like you were born to do this, and it's a pleasure to be here and to help you, because I enjoy this from my side, learning about all of the people, not just the people that we normally see on the Vaudacity network, but all of these new people that are coming up, these new artists, the new talent that's out there that's going to be up and coming in the years ahead. And today is no exception. I am excited to hear more about Amira. I mean, wow, she is, just looking at her bio, she is amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to know her as well, as we're meeting her for the first time tonight. Amira is a multi-talented musician, actress, model, and social media influencer. She started out in beauty pageants and won Miss Ohio Princess in 2009. She went on to star as Denise in the highly successful YouTube series Chicken Girls on Brat Network. I can't wait to hear about that. The show had millions of views an episode and ranked the highest on YouTube at that time. And due to that success, her fan base and following grew to the hundreds of thousands. She currently boasts over 300,000 followers on TikTok and 100,000 on Instagram. She's been spotted and photographed with celebrities, hanging out with Addison Rae and Selena Gomez. She's been featured on outlets like People Magazine, Pop Sugar, and E! News. She most recently released a debut single and music video titled For the Better, which already has tens of thousands of streams on YouTube and other music platforms. Can't wait to get to know her this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in welcoming to the show, Amira.
Hello, you guys. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're excited to get to know you even more, or I say even more, but this is really the first time we've met. And what we do with all of our new guests is we throw them straight to the wolves through our icebreaker introduction challenge, where we give you 60 seconds to tell us everything you possibly can that we didn't learn about you when I read your bio. And are you up for that?
I'm down for the challenge. I'm ready.
All right, let's try it. And 3, 2, 1.
All right, I guess I'll start with the basics. I'm from Ohio and I'm 20 years old. I don't think many people know that I'm half Lebanese. My dad's from Lebanon, so I know a little bit of Arabic. Most of my family lives in Dubai. Let's see, what are other random facts? I love animals. I grew up on a farm in Ohio. Let's see my favorite animal. I think my favorite animal is a monkey or a horse. My favorite color is pink. My favorite like perfume scent would probably have to be the Burberry one. I love that one. Let's see what else. I don't know. I love shopping. I like to read a lot of books. My favorite author is probably Colleen Hoover. My favorite book by her is probably Verity, it's called. It's kind of like a thriller, scary one. I go to bed really early. This is just so random, but I feel like people always think I go to bed super late, but I'm in bed by like 9 p.m. most nights and I wake up early. I like to go to the gym a lot. I try to go like 5 days a week. I don't know. People always think for my Instagram that I'm really tall, but I'm actually, I think 5 foot or 5'1". So that surprises people. I've done music, I think, for the past like 5 years now, I believe, 6 years. But a lot of people think I grew up singing, but it's kind of just something that I found in the middle of acting because I had an audition that required me to sing. I have a cat, and her name is Pretty Kitty. It's like the most basic cat name ever, but it's so funny. She's like white and has blue eyes and is really like fluffy and cute. This is harder than I thought.
Well, I never stop people when the 60 minutes are up because 60 seconds, sorry, that would be much more difficult.
Yeah, that would be.
Tell us everything about yourself in an hour. Because I like to hear, what's at the front of people's minds when we say, tell us about you, tell us everything about you. And you did really well. That was just over 2 minutes and you did a great job. I feel like we have a much better snapshot of who you are. And a great launching point is you grew up. This is fascinating to me. So you're half Lebanese. Is it your mom's side or your dad's side?
It's my dad's side.
And so what brought your family to Ohio?
I don't really know. It's a very random state. I know that my dad opened up a business in Ohio. So he came to Ohio, I'm not sure what age, and then he met my mom in Ohio. I don't really know what brought them to Ohio though.
And you grew up on a farm. So my mom's side, my family goes way back to a city in Ohio called Miamisburg, Ohio, and they had a farm there. I went back for a family reunion once, and they still have a working well that they pump water out of, and it's all fresh, and cold, and delicious, and it blew my mind. I was like, I grew up here in Southern California, and I'm just like, I can't imagine growing up on a farm in the hills in the Midwest. And how old were you when you moved away from Ohio?
I moved away when I was about 12 and a half, but I went back and forth a lot. Like we would stay out here for like a month and then go back home. And then I like officially moved out here when I was 14 or 15, but I still go back home, just not as often as I did when I first came out to kind of like test the waters and see what LA's about.
So did that desire to see what LA's about, did that stem from a love for the arts? Did that start with you in a very young or at a young age, or how did you fall in love with acting or wanting to be on stage or in front of the camera?
Yeah, I fell in love with that at a very young age, just from like beauty pageants, and I've always just liked like to perform or like be in front of people. I've always had a very outgoing personality, so I did pageants for a while. I've always just been like doing anything in front of the camera, whether that's like making YouTube videos when I was like 11 or 12, just performing at all. Like I did ballet recitals, gymnastics. So that like gave me the interest. And then I would watch movies or TV shows and just be like, I really want to be on Disney, or I really just want to be like in that kind of world and on film. And that kind of got me going.
So did you come out here to pursue that, or were you kind of doing any acting before you came out here?
I was in like acting classes. I started in Ohio, just to see how I liked like acting classes. And then they were like flying people to LA, and I decided not to go with that group. And I just told my mom like I kind of want to independently go out to LA and see what I can do. Kind of like we were starting like from scratch. We didn't know anyone in LA, but just over time I've built connections and made a lot of friends and people, and I kind of just went out there for acting, and then it turned into music.
Wow.
Mhm.
I can't wait to get to the music part of it, but tell me about, as I'm reading your bio, the Chicken Girls YouTube series. How did you get involved in that? What is that? And tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so I was on a show called Brobot for a couple of the episodes, and it was a really popular show at the time back then. And I got involved just from like, mutual friends connections. I had an audition, and a lot of my friends were on that show. And it was kind of just like the influencer type, like popular show um, back then. And it was fun to film, it was cool.
How has your acting career gone since those early YouTube days? I know you mentioned Brobot, but have you been able to work on any other fun projects that you want to mention?
Not really with acting. I kind of took a break after the audition included singing. And then from there, which is kind of so bad to say because acting was really like my passion, but I kind of just like fully like committed to singing music because I started at such like a older age. Most people grow up singing and kind of know all the techniques. I had to like be full force in training, like almost 5 days a week in vocal lessons. I didn't even know what like pitch was,
Hmm.
or even how to sing. So I kind of just full force dove into singing and kind of took a break from acting.
Well, you must have naturally had good pitch if you mentioned like this, your whole singing career stemmed from having to sing a song in an audition.
Mhm.
So what is it like? I took my parents were both very musical. My dad has been a band director my whole entire life. So I grew up around people wanting to teach me music. What was it like deciding that that was a path that you wanted to go down, having no basically foundation in music? And then were you in classes, like full classes full of students, or was it all basically intensive one-on-one stuff?
It was all intensive one-on-one stuff. So it started with me having an audition for a girl band for music. Like this was after my acting audition. And then I didn't get that audition because of like how off my tone was and stuff. And she was like, I want to put you with some of the best trainers. Like, we do see something in you. I just think that you need some work on, which is very fair for like, I've never sang a day in my life. So I
Absolutely.
still thought it was really like cool and surreal that like she saw a little bit of like star power and potential in my voice. And from there, I literally did one-on-one training with my vocal coach. His name's Sean Murray, and he's literally the best vocal coach ever. And he pretty much developed me from like 15 to where I am now, or maybe 16. And then I've also had vocal lessons with Stevie Mackey. He's also amazing and great. And they all kind of just like helped me. There were days that like were hard. I didn't like feel like doing it or even like think that I could. And they just like constantly believed in me and pushed me and like gave me that like fight to want to keep going in music.
I think that's so important and it's not just like, I think that's very important and I have a
Yeah.
great idea, but
Yeah.
it is so important when you have a team of supporters behind you.
Mhm.
And it's one thing to have a dream and to want to chase after it in a world full of other people who want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's another to just to have a group, a family, a tribe that wants to see you succeed and is there to help you do it. I've experienced that throughout my many different ventures in the entertainment industry, but Just like it is immeasurable how important it is to have a group of people behind you that believe in you, not just in creative works, but in anything you do in life, really. Is that something that kind of came as a surprise to you, or something that you kind of have grown up around, just this very supportive type of tribe?
I think it's different when it comes to like music, just because I mean, I've always had a supportive family, supportive like friends and anything that I do. But it was surprising because like all the stuff that I've heard from like the music industry like sucks, it's hard, like you won't find people that'll be there for you. And then it's like I found this person and it like became more, it was just like a mentor, honestly. Like he helped me through everything in my music, and it was like a very pleasant surprise that that was my very first experience going into music. And I'm really like grateful and blessed that I had that. It just became more of like a friendship type thing. Like it would be, we would be in our vocal lessons, and it's like he believed in me so much that it wasn't even about the money anymore. It's like he would make me stay an hour later just to like train on this like specific cover, be like, you can do this. Like it just like when we were together working together, like nothing else mattered except like getting the right vocal take. And that like meant a lot, that he believed in me so much that he gave me his own time to like help me. And yeah, it was a very good experience.
Do you ever have times where you doubt yourself? And if so, how do you lift yourself up?
Yeah, there's a lot of times. I mean, up till now, I've been singing for like 5 years training, and it's still like I just put out my first single recently because of how much I've doubted myself, because of how like scared I've been about the like public opinions. And I just like I don't even know how I did it. I've just kind of like I journal a lot, and I think I just finally like got out of my head. I think it might just be my age, maturity, kind of just being like, I got to figure out my life. It's time to release my music, like, and just kind of full force, like go for it. I've trained for like a while. There's no really like, I don't know. It was just kind of like me overthinking, and I kind of had to get that out of my head and just release and not doubt myself anymore. But you know, there's going to be challenges and ups and downs no matter what.
Absolutely. And that is such a challenging thing about being an artist, whether, no matter what form of art you're making. And even in the business world too, if you're an inventor or something like that, you're putting your blood, sweat, your tears, your passion into something that you are literally putting under bright lights for people to observe and judge.
Yeah, it's a very vulnerable thing.
Absolutely. And especially, at such a young age, having the tough enough skin to put yourself out there and release your own music. Tell me about how the single came about. Did you write it yourself? Did you do that with your team?
Yeah, I wrote it with one other co-writer. Her name's Bad Luck, and she's just an amazing writer. I found her through just, I think it was just mutual people. We got in the studio, and this was like our fourth or fifth song that we wrote together, but it like deeply connected with me. I was going through like a hard time in my life emotionally, and just stuff like that. I like called her. It was like a funny story. I called her at like 2 a.m. and was like, girl, we need like an emergency writing session. So the next day we went in, we just kind of like wrote down all of our feelings, or all of my feelings, and she helped me like put it into a song, and we wrote For the Better and then released it.
That's awesome. Well, we can't wait to hear it and share it with our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, not just are we going to hear the song, but we're going to see the music video, and I'm sure we'll be able to talk about it right after we get to watch it. But here it is. This is Amira and her very first single and music video, For the Better.
Compiling everything, the memories in every single text. To write a script with it, predicting what you're gonna say next. Different day, same thing. We're going circles, trying everything, but nothing's working, even though you and me can agree that we might never change. You should know that my heart will break long time since you left my life and broke all your fucking promises. But I'll admit, my heart will break the moment that I see ya with someone else. I'll tell myself I need ya. Maybe I wish we were still together, but either way I know it's for the better. My heart will break the moment that I see ya with someone else. I'll tell myself I need ya. Maybe I wish we were still together, but either way I know it's for the better. Either way, either way, either way I know it's for the better.
And that is Amira with For the Better. What a great sound. I can totally see that topping the charts on a radio, being performed in Times Square. Like,
Aw,
what a fantastic track.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You mentioned you're writing more music.
I am.
What do you have in the future coming down the pipeline?
You know, I have a lot of stuff. I actually recently, I think about a week ago, wrote my absolute favorite song that I cannot wait to go into production for. Unfortunately, there's like always a strategy when it comes to releasing, so I don't know if it will be my next single, but there's a lot coming up. I have about like 4 or 5 that are in production right now, ready to like roll soon. I think I will be waiting until after the holidays though to release.
That's great. So, I mean, technology, everything is evolving for artists. And, back in my day, we would put albums together, but now it's basically, you want to keep your content consistent and have kind of like a slow drip of singles. Is that the plan, or are you putting together an album?
I am actually going to be putting together an album, but I want to get out a few more singles just because I only have one song on Spotify right now because I'm a new artist. So I'll probably put out about 3 more singles and then maybe hint towards an album coming. I've been working on it really hard, so that's the goal. I have an acoustic version for the Better coming out of like the For the Better song that I'm really excited to share with you guys before the holidays, and then I'll be working on all the music during the holidays and then probably have some fresh music for everyone come January.
That's great. We can't wait to hear it. Let's chat for just a minute before we start to wrap it up and let you go about the filming the music video. What a great video. Was that like out here in Mojave or in like Joshua Tree?
Yeah, it was up near it was about 2 hours out of LA. I'm not sure the exact location, but I know it's about 2 hours up.
And how long was your shoot for that?
It was an all-day thing. I think we started 5 a.m. to about 10 or 11 at night.
Yeah, but it was all in one day.
Yeah, it was all in one day, and it was a really great experience for my first music video. Loved the director, loved my whole team that I worked with. It was really scary at first, but then once I was like on set, I was like, oh, this is great.
I was noticing, because for anybody just listening to the podcast, go check it out on YouTube. You'll notice, immediately recognize the acting chops as, people, we have the conversation and it's like, well, you see performers really seem like amazing acting performances in music videos. And the argument can be made, well, that's because they're feeling the music or they wrote that from their heart. But you can definitely tell when somebody has acting experience and when they're comfortable on camera and they know what the camera's doing and they understand what performance they need to give on set. And that was immediately noticeable in your music video there, as there were very dramatic moments and you could tell that you were an actress, you had acting experience going into it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as we go, I love that you've got your plans. You're carefully executing the strategy of releasing your new music. And what advice would you give to anybody out there who's thinking about, everybody goes through that. Every creator, not just artist, but entrepreneur, anybody in pretty much any aspect of life, we can used to the comfort bubble and scared to push it and push our limits and follow our hearts to something we really, really want. This is something that you have obviously done. What advice would you give anyone who's thinking about doing something and has always been a little too scared to take the first step?
I mean, since I've been in that position, I would just say it's so much easier said than done. Really just go for it and not let like other people's opinions get to your head and make you overthink about it, because the reward that comes after it is just so much better. And I think cut out any friends that are toxic or jealous of you. I think having like a great circle and team around you really helps motivate you to want to like do what you do, I had a lot of great opinions from like when I showed my friends and teams my song, and they were all just like, you gotta release, and they were super happy. And I think that got in my head more, and whenever I would doubt myself, like my whole team would be like, you got this. So I think like just surround yourself with people that are great for you and encouraging to you. Journal more and kind of just go for it. I know that it's easier said than done, but it's what you kind of have to do if you're in your head.
Very inspiring to see such a young and bright-eyed talent pushing that comfort bubble and taking the world by storm the way that you are, taking risks and creating. And we wish you all the best going into the future. And we thank you so much for spending time with us in our COVE community.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and it was a pleasure to meet both of y'all. And yeah, I look forward to talking again next time when the new music is out.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Amira.
Yay, thank you.
Wow. Can you imagine like being so young and just like moving to LA to try and chase your dreams? And like, I grew up here. And so it was just something that I wanted to try, and I did try. I didn't have to move from the Midwest or the North Central to come out to LA to try this. But like, your family, like we talked to Stefan a while back, and his family came out from South Africa, and just to come out, pick up and move to LA to try and take a crack at an acting career or a music career. That's got to be something that's like true, you're calling to your heart and calling to your core, and something that you just can't ignore and is all you.
Exactly. And I think that's what the essence of this, of being who you are should be, is, and even she said it, earlier, it's like, it's not what other people think of you. It's what you think you need to do, what you want to follow. It's who you are, I think, is the bottom line, and finding out who you are. And I came up with this poem from poetrysoup.com called This Is Me by David Newman, which is actually quite good about saying, who am I? This is me. This is who I am, and this is who I will be, regardless of what other people think. So I thought this would be a very good one to share for today's episode.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, interpreting David Newman's poem, This Is Me, here's Craig Jackman.
You wake up in the morning to look in the mirror, to say, this is me, to compare yourself to what you think you should be. I'm fat, I'm ugly. How can this be? Why did God do this to me? You put on some makeup or some acne cream to cover the blemishes that others can see. But it doesn't matter what others see. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder is me. So stop annotating and start complimenting, not on what should be, but on what is. You were created in God's image. Oh, how powerful to see who you really are. Oh, how magical. In that mirror is not, I'm fat, I'm ugly, but a scientific creation from stardust. Something that's way beyond us. And what's inside is something so unique, so special, because no one else has it. It's like magic. It's you. You are the most amazing thing to walk on this earth, with the ability to wake up and show your worth. So why wake up and talk negative when you could wake up and smile? Why not be happy for a while? We try to please everyone else when all you have to do is be yourself. People say, what matters is on the inside. And you say, but look at my outside. And I say there is no good side. You as a whole is the creation. There is no separation. Each person with 46 chromosomes working in perfect symphony, destroying themselves with negativity. Just stop. You are beautiful because you are rare. Because no one else can compare. Your face, your nose, your eyes, with your sense of humor to comprise someone no one else can match. Try to make it in a lab. Try throw it down the hatch. You compare yourself to everyone else when you are one of a kind. Why can't you get that in your mind? Diamonds aren't perfect, so why should you be? Beauty is not symmetry. Look in the mirror, and what do you see? The beauty that you are. This is me.
Listen, you bring a lot of amazing poems to this network, but that one is definitely one of my favorites. Wow. Perfect.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
Very,
so
very
well
powerful.
performed as always. Yeah.
And this looks good. We're gonna be hearing a song from you too.
Well, you bring a poem called This Is Me. I thought maybe I'd add a little song called This Is Me.
Aha.
Totally unplanned and unscripted. But
Can't wait,
I have
because
to
I think
change.
I love this song, and I can imagine how this interpretation will be.
from The Greatest Showman and written by Pasek and Paul. That's right, here we go. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say. Nobody wants your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna send the flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me, oh, 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 oh. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, That's what we've become. I won't let them break us down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna send the flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me, oh, sing it at home. Oh, 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 oh. And I know that I deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send the flood, I'm gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Ladies and gentlemen, go on out there, be you, do what you do best, and make each day count. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed this podcast, I ask you to please become an influencer just like Amira and tell a friend about it. Go back through our 30 episode catalog, pick one that's one of your favorites, and think of a friend who might find some value in it and enjoy it. Share it with them, spread the link around. Of course, we are an independent podcast, so any and all help in spreading the word and reaching more people is very, very appreciated, as is you showing up and giving us a listen every Tuesday. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week.
I put the coat on her!